Everybody, all praise be to the Most High God. The Most High God comes first. I'm Christ, I am disciple. You're watching my channel. If you like what you're seeing, you can like, share, subscribe. It's a very spontaneous stream. It is very much necessary. I'm going to go into it in as much detail as I can, but time is against me, so don't expect the stream to be very long. I hope you guys have a great day today. The little geeks say, let's make something clear. The people who are coming out saying Gunn is doing something new, or he's exploring a part of the corrective that's never been done before, or it's awesome that Gunn is exploring Superman's human side and wanting to just do the right thing, you can stop being disingenuous. Zack Snyder did this already. It's called deconstruction. He did this with both Man of Steel and BVS. Just because Gunn is doing it in his film doesn't make the concept new or innovative or daring. All he did was steal an idea from a man he claims to have respect for and trying to capitalize on the whole world wasn't ready for Zack's take back then routine. As you can see, KG crossover, he is showing you that the man is ripping off different parts of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, BVS, and even Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'll just let you guys watch these scenes and process them before I continue. Lethal Geeks are on the money with this. And I'm going to say to everybody that my wallet is not going to be paying for this mess. As somebody else said, this is like a downgrade to what we have seen before from Zack Snyder's work. So I am not in any way interested in it. Also, in addition, Lethal Geeks posted up a response to a stream in which one of the people one of the scoopers said that Zack Snyder's actually, James Gunn's actually going to have the audacity to mock the Snyder Cut in his movie. Now, as I've said before, the trailer for James Gunn's Suicide Squad is better than any trailer that they have done so far. I'm not saying the movie is going to be like the trailer, but actually they did a lot better. It was passable. But having said that, I really haven't seen anything that really screams originality. It's the same generic CW-ish stuff. Warner Bros. Did clean up the film quite a lot, making James Gunn have to do a lot of work to revise the movie that he's going to be showing. Obviously, this movie is going to be the typical James Gunn movie, but they were able to clean it up some. But of course, that's just an ad. And having seen what I see of the movie, it's the typical James Gunn, immature, adolescent, yelling, shouting, screaming, Marvel, Josh Whedon sort of product. So that's not my thing. Here's a brother who is in Palestine, a black brother. I've seen several, again, Palestine, Gaza to be specific, has a lot of different kinds of people. Shout out to Lord Kojay on the Palestinian Christians. He did an interview with some Palestinian Christians or descendants of Palestinian Christians. And in Palestine, as I said before, you have many different peoples. And not only in Palestine, but in Gaza and the West Bank. It's not just Arabs. This gentleman looks like he comes from either Somalia or Sudan. emigrated probably to go to Israel, got rejected, ended up in Gaza, ended up in Palestine. There are black Palestinians, just for the record. I'm just going to play him here.
Please help me. Like, share, comment. Thank you. Pray for Gaza. Stop. Hello everyone. I am Manar. I am from Gaza. Look at me, the situation. No food, no gas, no water, no hospital. I am very hungry and tired. Please help me. Like, share, comment. Thank you. Pray for Gaza.
I'm gonna say it. Just because you see images of dead children, as disgusting and frustrating and upsetting as it is, does not automatically make a war unjust.
I'm gonna say it. Just because you are getting the bag in and you are receiving crumbs of attention on the internet for spreading your abhorrent propaganda does not make it acceptable. Because in this video, this person basically admits that they work for the Israeli government.
And for the last 4 years, I've worked in some capacity for my full-time job in the Israel education advocacy space.
They say that they've been working within the Israel advocacy space, but you only have 30,000 followers. You're not generating your own income. You are being paid by the Israeli government or at least an NGO or an organization that is adjacent to it. And you sit there and act as if it is the photos and images on the internet that are made to manipulate people's emotions, rather than the fact that the state that you support is currently paying people like you, white Westerners who appeal to people's Christianity, to spread nonsense like this so that Israel can commit crimes. It is in no way normal or acceptable to go on the internet every day and make rubbish like this so you can support a state which is currently starving 2 million people, which is currently trying to wipe away 2 million people's history and culture with the express goal of expelling them and never allowing them to return to their own lands. She says that she's getting a master's degree in genocide studies, but how dare you make videos like this if you really are? Because surely you must see that there are an incredible amount of experts who are referring to what Israel is doing as genocide. And under the vast majority of definitions, even Raphael Lemkin, the man who coined its definition, that Israel is perpetrating genocide. This is...
Restore the Snyderverse, y'all. So there's a bunch of things I want to say here. First of all, we have to ramp up our campaign now. We have to put the heat on these wicked people. It's time that the companies, again, like Ship Arms, that we target them, that we make sure that court cases are put upon them so that we can stop the shipments. We need to also stop ships coming into ports in different countries, reject the ships coming into port. We need to continue the arrest of IDF soldiers involved in the genocide in Gaza and in the killing of people via the Hand Rajab Foundation. We need to up the ante in not buying and boycotting the different companies which are supporting the genocide. This includes Axe and Starbucks, Caterpillar, etc., Coca-Cola, Pepsi. We need to really stand strong. Amani says, this is so messed up. Gazans are posting their final messages because of how unimaginably horrific things are right now. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is restricting their accounts, and this is on Twitter. Hytham and Gasson says, I'm saying goodbye to my family now. With these words, I say goodbye to you too. I won't survive the night. I can feel it deep within me. And yeah, they're trying to censor Palestinian voices. Elon Musk is complicit. Donald Trump is complicit. Um, you know, uh, Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, suddenly flips the script again, and he's going back to what he was saying before. I'm alarmed by reported plans by Israel to expand ground operations in Gaza. I emphasize the UN will not participate in an operation that does not adhere to international law and humanitarian principles, humanity, impartiality, independence, and neutrality. I reiterate my appeal for the full support of UNRWA's work. I reject the repeated displacement of the population along with any question of forced displacement outside Gaza. Again, too little, too late. Right now, while Donald Trump has people's attention about his bullshit that he's saying, he has armed Israel fully to try and eradicate the Palestinians from off of Gaza. And we're talking about the civilian population, which can be decimated. Of course, Hamas is not going to be affected by this. It's not Hamas that will be affected, but it is the Gazan population that will be affected. Hamas has done its bit to release 3 hostages from Gaza as of recently, even though there were direct talks with the United States and Hamas. We've still got this outcome that is happening because, once again, not enough political will to just stop this shit right now, here and now. All these clowns, these politicians out there. And so, since they don't have the political will to do that, we have to shut them down. This is a direct order that we, the people, need to shut down Donald Trump and his regime. We need to shut down Netanyahu and his regime. We need to shut down Keir Starmer and his regime in the UK. We need to shut down the regime in Germany. We need to shut down the regime in France. We need to promote and support all Italian regimes and people who are against this war. We need to support and strengthen the Spanish people who are full support, and they have closed their ports to any Israeli ships or any American ships and aircraft that are trying to ship goods into Israel to form an offensive against Gaza. We need to support South Africa. We need to support Russia, and when it supports stopping against, we need to support Iran. We need to support the Houthis. We need to support Hezbollah. We need to support Hamas. All resistance to the occupation and complete annexation of Gaza and the West Bank, which we must not forget the West Bank, the atrocities that are happening in the West Bank, which you will see in a couple of minutes. We need to up our operations. We need them to feel us, and we're not sending the message strong enough. We need to double down. And I see the American public being fully aware of this now and rejecting what the government of its country is doing. And we have to now shut down these regimes. We need to also not only shut down the regimes, but all of the private corporations in support of this by any means necessary. I'm going to repeat it once more. We need to shut down and absolutely disable any entity. That is to say, we have to shut down all the corporations behind this. We need to shut down the special interest groups behind this. We need to shut down the, you remember Occupy Wall Street, where we actually crippled Wall Street and shut it down? We need to do an operation like that. The movement now has to take it to another level. People's lives are at stake. We cannot afford to have mass murder of the Palestinian people a day longer. We need to shut stuff down. As to the Restore the Snyderverse campaign and movement, as you guys already have said, you are already boycotting this movie. We need to shut it down. There must not be a cent. There must not be a dollar that any of us pay towards the foolishness that is going on right now, especially as it's a ripoff of Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, Sammy, I am 100% in agreement and in solidarity with Sammy, who says, I cannot wait to stay home on July 11th and watch the greatest Superman movie of all time, Man of Steel. I'm going to mention some families here. I hope they don't get targeted. Mohammed Jawad and his little daughter, Rafif, and his wife, These are normal people. These are citizens. These are civilians. We've been seeing them on TV recently. Then the bombing is coming closer and closer to them. The drones fly overhead. Here's a message from a young child. You guys know the directive. We need to execute it like a military. We got to get into there and we have to shut stuff down. We have the numbers. We are all over the world. The diplomats and the politicians who have been playing the ass and just basically scratching themselves. We need to shut all of them down. They need to feel us. We need to have a worldwide shut it down where you guys don't go to work, where you stop contributing to the economies of your different countries. You get up, you take up your banners, your posters, your whatever, and you go out and you protest. We need a worldwide day of protest all over the world, including the United States of America, state by state, person by person. We need to shut this shit down. We're not going to work. We're not going to do anything except send a very clear message to all leaders and all people. This is a warning shot across the bow. All citizens. I am calling on all people of the world. I want you guys to share this if you find it. I want you to now, this is the moment where you flex your muscles. You need to not go to work. You need to not purchase any item or product that is in any way, in any sort of way related to, what's happening in Gaza and in the West Bank and in Palestine. In that, it's affecting negatively. I need you to boycott and force institutions to boycott. You think the government not funding your institution is a big thing? No. You're going to see us now. We're going to start shutting shit down. That means in the universities. We're coming for your universities. We're coming for everything. And we're going to shut it down in a way that you do not expect, which is, we're not going to attend your universities anymore. We're going to come and make protests. We're going to empty the universities, and it's up to the lecturers, the professors, etc. Since you don't want us on your campuses, then we don't want you. We don't want you teaching us your bullshit, because your bullshit is nothing. If you're supporting war and genocide, we don't want to be a part of it. We're going to shut you down. Let's say it again. No attending of classes, no attending of universities. No attending. We don't give a fuck about your diplomas since you are funding war and genocide. We don't want to be taught by you. We are going to start rejecting every single thing that you have been sucking our money from. We're not going to give you our money. We're going to start going into our communities, finding local people, poor mom and pops. Shout out to Ben and Jerry's, by the way. And we're going to shut you down. Systematically, we're going to reject you. We're going to rebel against you. We're going to shut you down while we have the power to do so. Here's what we need to do. We need to have a worldwide day of protest for Gaza, and not just Gaza and not just Palestine. We're going to have a protest on behalf of the people, also the protesting people, the people in Lebanon, the people in Yemen, the people in Syria who are being butchered and murdered by their government. We're going to have a protest on behalf of all of these people, including also the people in Congo who are being butchered and murdered just for cobalt. We're also going to have a protest for Burkina Faso and the fact that Ibrahim Traore is on the sites of these fucking disgusting Western empires' eyesight. We're going to also protest the rest of the Salant, and we're also going to protest also in solidarity with the people of Sudan, Somalia, Libya. We're going to shut shit down. We need to have a shut it down day where we speak about what we want our governments of the world to do. And if they do not listen, we are going to continue this shutdown until they listen. That is, there will be no jobs, no work, no labor, none of our money is going to go to you. We'll keep our money and we'll circulate it among mums and pops. Nothing. We're going to shut it down. They haven't felt us yet. They're going to feel us now. I'm talking nation by nation, state by state. We're going to write letters to our governments. We're going to send emails. We're going to do vlogs. We're going to stand up. Now, in terms of this electronic media here, with Mr. Elon Musk and all these fucking clowns out here, we're going to shut shit down. Next thing we need to start and open is our own social media platforms, our own social media forums, and we just make a mass influx to that, just like how we did when they said they want to shut down TikTok. We may have to station this thing in China or in Russia or in some other country, in some African country, but at the end of the day, we look for a provider, we look for alternative methods, and we shut shit down. We don't need them, they need us. They've been taking our money, they've been taking our resources, they've been gathering information on us for too long, and we've been allowing them to do so. We're going to shut shit down. Okay, here we continue.
عودة الحرب أيها العالم، هل تشعرون بنا؟ في كل لحظة من الحرب يعود الألم يحرقنا. عودة الحرب إلى غزة ليست مجردا عودة للعنف، عودة لآلام لا تحتمل ودموع لم تجف بعد. لن نطلب منكم الرحمة، بل نطلب منكم أن تصفوا ضمائركم أيها العالم.
Whatever it is, the IDF has investigated the IDF and has found no wrongdoing in the IDF, which comes as a great relief to the IDF, who would like to thank the tireless and investigative work the IDF do. Yes, sure, it's very concerning. The number of journalists killed in this conflict is terrible, but it could increase by one more if you keep asking such questions. How can you call this 4-year-old child innocent when X-rays clearly show Hamas is hiding inside? Look, Hamas man inside. If anything, his parents should be apologizing to the IDF. That guy strapped to the front of the IDF Jeep, he was looking to go to work. He had no lift. Our soldiers gave him a lift, and not even so much as a thanks. Yeah, yes. One person's conclusive proof of war crimes can be another man's don't be so anti-Semitic, okay? Well, that's how bombs work, actually. They blow up everything. What do you want us to do? Target their individual communication devices? This is not Star Trek or Star Wars. Seriously, how are we supposed to know the UN shelter, marked UN shelter, was actually a UN shelter? It's just impossible. There's so much debris, smoke, and rubble. And the IDF has done nothing wrong here. It's even silly to have an international court of justice. Yes, journalists are wearing the Palestinian scarf. Oh, no, I didn't mean that question.
As a Jewish person,
And there's heavy bombing in Gaza right now. Heavy bombing. And Abdullah Omar, he's wondering if he will live. Meanwhile, China has built over 30,000 basic level smart factories as part of a nationwide push to accelerate industrialized digitization and intelligent upgrading, according to the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. China's just moving ahead. There's nothing America can do. They're probably going to resort to nuking China very soon. And guess what? China has nukes as well. So that would be a bad idea. Restore the Snyderverse. This here is the Lego edition of Restore the Snyderverse. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys can check it out on my Twitter. You can also go buy the stuff. Cameron Diaz says, I'd rather see my face aging than a face that doesn't belong to me at all. And she's speaking about the skins that they use to make the faces, to do the skin grafts that come from the children of Palestine. Shout out to Cameron Diaz in saying that.
The United States is saying that we have to let some through. Airdrop it. Perfect. The airdrops actually killed more kids. Tragic. Now what? Actually, that's a very good question. Did we bomb the hospitals? Yes. Oh, right. Bomb them again. Okay, some of the neighboring countries are actually getting upset. Which ones? Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan. Bomb. The Houthis in Yemen are getting good press. Call up the New York Times. Give me New York Times. Yeah. Iranian-backed militia. Got it. And what about Hezbollah? An Iranian-linked terror group. Got it. Okay, the famine worked, and now our hostages are being starved. Nothing a nice little bombing can't fix. Certainly. Just one second. Yeah, the press is asking about those hospitals. You mean Hamas fiddles. Right. Hamas battalions, we must crush them all. Okay, and what about the mosque we just bombed? That's a Hamas. Pregnant women. Shoot their bellies. Yes. 165,000 Palestinians in Gaza in 1965. No, there wasn't. Actually, the population was closer to 300,000 in 1948. The indigenous population of Gaza in 1948 was around 60 to 80,000 people. Roughly 250,000 Palestinians fled to the Gaza Strip as a result of ethnic cleansing. So you're saying that because the population of Gaza itself, literally the enclave that these refugees had to run to flee their own annihilation, because that land, that strip of land, grew in population, there must be no genocide. Well, you're missing the fucking point, much, don't you think? What happened to the land of Palestine itself? What happened to the territories outside of the Gaza Strip, you dingleberry? What happened to the population of the territories outside the Gaza Strip? Everyone went to the Gaza Strip. Why? Why was it an indigenous population of 60,000 people only to be tripled that amount within a few months? Also, the word genocide implies intent, not a population count. The intent of the Israeli government is genocide. It's sort of like saying slaves were living better in the 19th century than in the 18th century, so therefore no slavery, I'm very smart. By the way, overwhelming the indigenous population 3 times its amount created abject poverty in the Gaza Strip. These people are being pushed into an enclave, an open-air concentration camp, 25 miles long by 5 miles wide. Meanwhile, genocide of the Jewish people is written into the Hamas Charter. No, it isn't. Not in the 1988 version or the 2017 Charter, which distinguishes between Zionism and Judaism, which is a point that not even this person can understand. This last sentence is what I love the most. So you see how the JCA works its magic. Yeah, the JCA is the Jewish Colonization Association. I don't know what you're thinking if you're thinking that you're being clever here, but you're just owning yourself, because the Jewish Colonization Association was literally the main organ which established the settler colony project of the state of Israel in the land of Palestine. And it openly acknowledged this by naming itself the Jewish Colonization Association. The Zionist project acknowledged itself openly that it was not a liberation project, it was a colonization project. You thought you cooked, you did not cook. You can't even microwave this shit.
So let me keep this going here. Sorry, but the Flash and Superman got to be the ugliest CBMs to ever come out. And it's very true, Mr. Renz. I don't really feel like paying attention to that, but anyway. The Lethal Geek said another very interesting thing. I mean, shall I go on, or are we getting the message? The version of Reeves' Superman was not his. It was Warner Brothers. They've been fucking with the creative since back then. Yes, you love Christopher Reeve's version, but that's not Donner's version. He wanted this one. Key points of contention, creative disagreements. Donner, a director known for his action-oriented style, clashed with the producers, the Salkinds, over the film's tone and direction. He felt the script was too light and preferred a more dramatic and intense take on Superman's story. Budgetary issues. The budget for the film was a constant point of contention, and Donner, he was not given the resources he needed to achieve his vision. The production disruption. The discussion to film both Superman and Superman 2 simultaneously, with Donner directing both, led to delays and a lack of focus on the first film. Ultimately, filming of the sequel was halted and Donner was removed from the project. Reshoots and script changes. Donner was forced to make significant changes to the film after filming, including reshoots and alterations to the script, which he felt undermined his creative vision. So, yeah. I've talked about this before. Richard Donner wanted a much more serious tone Superman. Even Christopher Reeves talked about that. Superman 2 was punched up and much more funny because the other guy that replaced Richard Donner, which was Richard, I can't remember his other surname, made it much funnier. The ending, Richard Donner was not supposed. Richard Donner said he wasn't going to kill General Zod like Superman did. But the theatrical version did. Benjamin Rubenstein says Hamas isn't stealing aid. Hamas is the government. They're the distributors of the aid. They're not capable of stealing because the aid is their responsibility. The Trump administration has not wrapped their head around this small fact. And so they're talking about how Hamas will take the aid and a lot of bullshit. This is again the guy and his daughter. This is another person in Muhammad in Gaza who's been covering a lot of things and helping a lot of people in Gaza. And he's thinking that the end is nigh for him. We have to change that directive. Now, there's something I want to show you. It's a bit disturbing as well as it's also inspiring. What you're seeing there dancing in front of you is literally a robot, a android robot that has mastered the movement. So we have robots now that can do everything that we can do. They can dance and all kinds of stuff. Combine that with AI, and you have autonomous robots that can do all kinds of things. They're stronger, they can move. And Elon Musk is moving at a rapid rate in the United States government with AI being replacing a lot of things. A lot of people are getting fired. In my country, also, a lot of people losing their jobs. The government continuously saying the treasury is empty and all this kinds of bullshit while they steal more money and enrich themselves. So I'm just saying that the corruption is not just exclusive to the United States. A lot of people are dissatisfied with the governments because the governments are not working for the people. They're working for themselves and special interest groups. Here we have now something that will replace us in time. I've spoken about it in the previous video. And this is why we have to take action now, guys, and we have to increase the ante because they're going to have something to replace us very soon. And then they're going to just mass genocide us once this thing can replace us. I'm just saying it again so you guys know. Hawk says, a friendly reminder that Carol Clark's Superman is a selfless hero and Snyder does get the character just fine. The whole not understand gig was tiring back in 2016 as it still is now. And we see Superman saving people, going to listen to man's will in Congress and so on. All right, this is them arguing against saying that Reeves is the only good version of Superman. All eyes on Gaza. The safe zone is being invaded. People are being burnt alive as we speak. Do not look away. Keep your eyes on them during this time. So we have to take action, people. This is not a time to not take action. We have to take action. I have to go out and work, but when I come back, I will try and follow up on this. Your thoughts on Batman v Superman: The Ultimate Edition? It's an incredible film. And while Gal Gadot is definitely not Wonder Woman, she just pretended to be. She's an evil witch, and she's part of the Israeli program to genocide the Gazans. I still think this was a quality movie and a great movie. I may need to replace Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. The U.S. Army veterans stand against genocide. 74 days, the Israeli government, along with its accomplice in genocide, the American government, has not allowed food or water to enter inside of the concentration camp that is known as Gaza. Again, listen to this lady.
Is the hypocrisy. My name is Josephine Gilbo. I am a 17-year Army veteran and a former intelligence officer. 74 days. 74 days, the Israeli government, along with its accomplice in genocide, the American government, has not allowed food or water to enter inside of the concentration camp that is known as Gaza.
Let me just say, it is good to see the military backing this cause. Now, to the military. The people with the intelligence and the military know-how and strategic, the military needs to take control of this situation. We need to have people reject drafts to go anywhere. We also need specialist people like my sister here, to civilly and also militarily disobey authority. If that means you get discharged from the military, so be it. But what you need to do is that you can form your resignations from there. We need as much military force as possible for the resistance, because we need you guys to protect the people as they take these monumental and very epic stands on issues. I remember the Black Power movement in my country, and we need the military to back us up. This is the will of the people. This is what we call democracy. This is the real democracy. As fascism tries to rapidly approach us, these million years and these billion years, buy out our freedoms, and then put us on execution lines and replace us with bots and robots and AI technology and androids. We need to stand up now. This is the time to take a stand. This is not just about Gaza. This is not just about Sudan and Libya and African countries and other Middle Eastern countries that are standing against this sort of authoritarian rulership that is trying to come up. We are doing this for the betterment of humanity on a whole. This is bigger than that. These people worship Satan, and they are not going to stop. They're going to accelerate, and we need to accelerate with them. And if necessary, replace them, remove them from power, remove them from position, replace them with ourselves. So let's stand as this sister here. Now, here's what the military specifically needs to do. I'm going to be very specific about things because we need to be very specific about things right now. The military needs to, one, you may have to overthrow these people and you may have to replace them. You may have a temporary military government in the interim. But here's what's happening with the military. You need to protect, first of all, the protesters. Their primary objective is to protect the people. That's why you're a military. Your intervention in these civil issues is because it is in the interest of national security that you need to start overriding and taking control. This is a very important thing that the military does. The military and the military people with conscience need to do this. Now, once you've done this, that is to protect the people, your next thing is to replace the governments of your various countries. People will say it's a coup. It's not a coup. It's to reset. Now, Abraham Traore did it in Africa. The revolution needs the military. The military needs to be on the side of the righteousness of history. We need a multipolar world. We do not need a unilateral world. We do not need a world where one world government is ruling it. And it is time for you to militarily disobey any calls or commands or orders that are in the interest of murdering other people and also in the interest of fascism for the American empire. So I'm saying this first and foremost, European empires as well. You need to now have a conscience and you need to understand what the military is there for. It's supposed to be to protect the people. And if you're not protecting the people, then you're doing something in opposition to what you have signed up for. So, for all the military heads out there, the veterans, etc., they have rejected you. They have not dealt with you for a long time. They've tried to silence your voices. You know firsthand how war is. And it's up to you now to take a stand and to protect the people.
74 days, no food has entered to 1 million starving children. Where is the hypocrisy in our government when we are supposed to stand on Christian values, on the teachings of Jesus Christ, who said to stand with the weak, stand with the hungry, and stand with the poor? Our corrupt politicians are blasphemous. They use Christianity to perpetrate an agenda. That is all that they do. It is time for mothers, for Christians, for Americans, and for patriots to stand with the values that this country has the potential to hold. Stand against the genocide. Stand against the starvation of children. Lift the aid, lift the blockade, let the aid into Gaza. Stop the genocide now. My name is Josephine Gill.
Palestine! Free Palestine! Stop genocide! Stop genocide! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Stop genocide! Get away, war criminal! Get away, war criminal! Get away, war criminal! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Today, the Japanese National Press Club has invited this fucking war criminal to come and speak here. Kokoro wa arimasu ka? Nai desu. Arimasen. Look at all these fuckers. Let this war criminal in.
You need to up the ante. Any of these officials that come to any part of the world, they're not welcome. We're shutting it down. We're increasing the ante. We don't want any war criminals on our shores. You either arrest them or you deport them back to Israel. It is time to take a stand. All of these soft governments, all of these weak governments that cannot take a stand, the people will take the stand and we will replace them. It is time to stand up and fight for the people. We are not going away. We are only going to escalate and escalate and escalate. Israel will not be able to withstand us. Within Israel, the Israeli people who have taken a stand against the policies of the IDF and their government, your time is now. Destroy them from within. Replace them. Remove them from power and reset the whole thing. Shout out to the IDF soldiers who have refused to go back into Gaza, who have refused to fly overhead in Gaza. We need you to take a stand. You are also integral. Your job as the IDF was to defend the people, not to create a genocide, not to murder children, not to murder women. But it goes deeper than that. There is right now a government in Syria which is doing mass murders of the population and civilians, and they are assisting the IDF in destroying Syria. It is time that the attention is brought to that as well. Shout out to the brave, strong Ansarallah. Shout out to the brave, strong Hamas and Hezbollah. Shout out to them. They have been fighting as hard as they can for their people. And we unapologetically are in complete and utter solidarity with these resistance groups and with the people for their lives. And we will not apologize now for these Zionist demons who have been trying to victimize and target people all over the world. You are no longer accepted, not in any nation or country. The mark of Cain will be put upon you, and we will strike you down. You are not welcome in any country or any place or any nation from this day forth. We are going to escalate this. We are going to take this fight to you. When we can imprison you, we will. Otherwise, we deport you back to Israel, where you go into the line of fire of Ansarallah's missiles and rockets and ships, where you go into the line of fire of Hamas's rockets, where you go into the line of fire of Hezbollah's rockets, where you go into the line of fire of the Iraqi resistance fighting to you. There will be no place that's safe for any person coming from Israel who has been a part of the IDF and been part of a regime which has sought to murder, slaughter children and women. You will not be forgiven. We will not forget, and we are coming for you. I want you to say, I'm going to reiterate this one more time so that you understand. I am speaking in the spirit of the vexation and anger and rage throughout the world. We will come for you and we will bring you to justice. We are not going to play around here. We're coming for you. Every last one of you. We're coming for you. You will not be able to hide. There will be no place safe for you. As there's no place safe in Gaza, there will be no place safe for you in the world. Once we find you, we will arrest you and we will try you for war crimes. I don't care who you are and where you are. And all over the world, you will not be welcome because you have the blood of innocents on your hands. Shout out to the Israeli people who are starting to reject what their government is saying. There's resistance within Israel. And as much as they're trying to Gestapoly clamp down on these people and put them in prison and beat them up and stuff, do not stop. Increase, intensify. This is the order. This is for humanity. This is for our survival. They intend to replace us with machines. And this is the time to take a stand. You have to take a stand now. There will be no tomorrow if you do not. So we increase the ante. Shout out to Theo Vaughn, speaking the truth. Listen.
It's a genocide that's happening while we're alive here in front of our lives. People like putting their kids back together, probably like, one of the sickest things that's ever happened. And I'm sorry if I've kind of haven't said about it. I've tried to talk about it and learn about it. I just want to say something. I don't even know what to do. And it's crazy because our country's also complicit in it. It's in it and has been for a long time. And it's just kind of interesting because then you just realize, I'm a member of this country, but what we want sometimes doesn't matter.
Stop right there, buddy. Let me just say, what we want doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, it fucking matters. Okay? And you gotta excuse me for saying fucking, but I'm gonna say it. It fucking matters. Now, the question is, are we, the people, complicit in these actions? Are we going to just let this happen? Or are we going to take action? And that's the difference here. We, the people, have immense power. The question is, are we going to just give up on our power and say, oh, we can't do anything? Or are we going to use it? Are we going to use our power? If you elect someone to rule over you, you've chosen that person. If you are not satisfied with your, let's talk consumerism for a second. Let's talk capitalism. Let's talk business. You buy a product. The product alleges to do X, Y, and Z. You test out the product. You find that the product is broken and it's not doing what it's supposed to. What do you do with that product? You return it, right? And you get a refund or you get a product replacement. Now, if you do that with products, what makes it different to governments? What's the difference? There's no fucking difference. If the government doesn't do what you've elected it to do, then you fucking replace it or you get a fucking refund. It's the same shit. It's time you wake up, people. They say, well, every 4 years we need to vote. No, motherfucker. You can't wait 4 years to replace a product that is faulty. You don't wait 4 years to replace a product that's faulty. You replace a product when it's faulty. And there are different ways to go about doing that. There are different ways to go about putting pressure on people. Your civic duties go beyond just voting every 4 years or 5 years or what the fuck you think it is. Your civic duties is to make sure that your brother, fellow man, and your other fellow people are living in equity, are living in justice. That's why we have the fucking courts. That's why we have a legal system. We can't wait 4 years. If a government is breaking the fucking law, we can carry them to court and more than likely we'll win. That's one. That's the legislative arm. There's another arm. There's a military arm. All militaries, their job is to protect our nations. The police are to protect the citizens in the nation, but the military's job is to protect the nation. There are different arms responsible for different things. If you do not understand this because you've never done fucking civics in your fucking life, you're going to be clueless as to what you can do. There are several measures that you can take within a term of a government that can literally replace that government in a logical, strategic, and also, very important, way in which everyone agrees with you. So you have to understand what you can do, Mr. Vaughn, but you don't. A lot of you don't know what you as a civilian, as a citizen can do, and as a civilian. And it's not just, you have to study civics, because it's not just the law that's important. Well, the law is incredibly important, and it can allow you certain leeways to do different things. But even further from the law is also consensus. There's something called popularism, right? The popularity with the populace. If the populace agrees on something, which is basically democracy, they can therefore act on that because the populace agrees on it. Almost everyone agrees on it. Let me give you an example. All of us agree that all human beings should have the right to eat and sustain themselves, right? This is a universal right. So given that that is so, we all agree this is a populist thing. Now, how we act on it, we haven't all agreed on, but the point is, from there, the populace can work on measures and so on. We don't need a centralized fucking government to do this. We have all the tools already. We have the business community, we have the individuals, we have the nonprofit organizations. We can organize to fulfill the right for someone to sustain themselves. We can do that. We don't need our governments to do it. We've abdicated this power that we have, and we've given it to this centralized medium that we elect every year to solve all our problems. We can solve our own fucking problems. We do it as individuals all the time. So we can do it collectively.
Yeah. So just praying for those people and just the grief that that is all going to cause. You notice, like, what are we doing? It's a
You guys need to get your power. Look at this little child. She's obviously in PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. He's rubbing her ear, trying to comfort herself. The man finally takes her little hand in his hand. Look at this. It's very gentle with it. Still mind can't process what's going on. So there's extreme trauma with these children, particularly. I'm going to show you some more disturbing things which you will not like to see. It's extremely disturbing, so I will not stay on them too long. But I hope it prompts you to action, because it's really important that people understand. I've been spending almost about an hour here. But like I said, we need to increase the ante on these things. We need to intensify the pressure, not just on our governments, but if we need to replace them, we replace them. Listen, we have the power to replace governments, and you guys need to understand that. We have the power to do lots of stuff. If governments are corrupt, we need to replace them. It's end of story. You know, we don't need to be politicians to do that. We live in a society where organizations and powers answer to us. We have a communication between the people and the organizations. This is why Restore the Snyderverse is so successful. And it's the same principle that is applied to you, the citizens. You just have to wise up and realize you do have power. You do collectively have power. Stop letting them fight among yourselves. They try to facilitate divide and conquer. In my country, the East Indian community and the African community, we are the majority of the population. There is no reason why we can't do what South Africa did, why we can't do what happened in South Africa successfully, where we've had all the different ethnic people come together and support a cause that benefits all of them. Okay? Because let me explain this to you guys. This bullshit about African and Indian and the Indians getting hit. The Indians did what they did. They sacrificed. They did what they did to get themselves in a position, whether you think it's ethical or not. So the East Indian community in my country has done extremely well for themselves. Shout out to them on that. But you're still being screwed over by the empire. And some of you are doing the will of the empire. India and Pakistan, what the fuck you talking about? They're the same people. India and Pakistan are the same people. They're the same people. Why are you fighting among yourselves? You guys should be coming together to form one India and taking on the empire and doing what's right and just. India is what, 3 times the size of the United States? Like 10, 12 times the size of Europe? Why are you allowing Europe and the United States and all these Western powers to influence you? You should work as one. Muslims and Hindus should be working as one. Why are you fighting among yourself? You because of religion? Are you stupid? What does your religion teach you? Why are you so intolerant of each other? India has a caste system. So not only do they have a division through religion, they have a division during caste. And this caste system is what is keeping them back. And the Europeans had a lot to do with that. So what people need to understand is this supremacy nonsense needs to end. We're all people. We're all going to go back to the earth when we die. It's going to swallow us up, and that'll be that. So while we are alive, while we go to the toilet, while we all have to get food to eat, while we all want happiness, in the meantime, why don't we do something fucking smart for ourselves? Why don't we defend ourselves? Because I'm telling you right now, they're looking to replace us. And worldwide. We're redundant. Miss Rachel is talking about the children.
She has prosthetics, like Rahaf. And I found this outfit that she can put on her. I hope she likes her. Meeting Rahaf has changed my life forever, and I just love and adore her. Thank you for giving me this platform. I will always use it to stand up for kids. Just want to share the doll.
Beautiful. The pushback is epic, and I'm telling you why it's epic. The pushback is epic because people have a heart, people have conscience. And I've heard it described elsewhere as well that it's very anti-human what is happening right now in the world. The agenda that's being pushed against China, against Russia, against Iran, it's anti-human. And it also points to the point that these people, they're not satisfied with destroying Palestine and taking it and leaving no memory of it. They intend to do that to every single nation of the world, including nations that are doing better than them. China, and Russia, Iran, Africa. This is their intention. They don't even care about the American people. Right now, they're slashing social services and securities for people. They don't care about you. They never did. And they're showing their hands. And as Mr. Richard Wolff so correctly said, their empire is falling apart. Because we're not in darkness anymore. We're not ignorant of what they're doing. It's all in the open now. Why is veteran Superman causing collateral damage and destruction? Isn't he supposed to take the fight away from the people? It's in downtown Metropolis all this is going on. The criticism of BBS was, they fought in the middle of the people and put them in jeopardy in Man of Steel. Well, what is this then? Texas government signs law punishing companies for refusing to sell to Israel, calling it anti-Semitic. What the actual fuck is that? It doesn't matter what laws they put. These companies should stand firm and sue the governments. And this is the beautiful thing about it. You can sue them for illegal law. So they may put into law whatever they want to put into law. But at the end of the day, you can sue them if they take action because it's against the rights of a business to do whatever business it wants to do with any company it wants to do, any organization it wants to do it with. So them signing that into law in Texas doesn't mean shit. Fucking politicians. I wonder if it gets under DC fans' skin that their new Superman movie is heavily influenced by Superman movies they hate. Yep. John Baker saw this. So this was the post, and underneath the post, Axel Baum says, sadly, it does look like a porn parody. Just not one of mine. My movies were never this goofy. I had way better costumes, and most importantly, I always respected the source material because I care. Axel Braun, who's a porn star, he said that about the Superman movie. So this is how people feel about it. And no matter what people say, I know this movie's going to tank. I know what's going to happen to it. I don't really spend a lot of time on it because I just don't feel like it. Zionism is fascism, just like Nazism is. It's an ethno-religious supremacist ideology that requires the extermination of the indigenous population. Israel supporters crying anti-Semitism sounds like ISIS defenders claiming Islamophobia. The conflagration of Zionism equals Judaism is repulsive. Not only that, but, ISIS is not even representative of Islam, and they're the true terrorists in the region. It's not Hezbollah or Hamas or Ansarallah. It's ISIS, and they're backed by the United States and Israel. And they're literally harming their own people. Ray's Floor says this is what the Flash started out with. Are we witnessing history repeat itself again? Yes, we are. Alan Mizrani says, I feel like collectively, these are potentially the darkest hours humanity has experienced in close to a century. And in terms of a mass applied psychological torture, this may be the worst humans have ever suffered. We're being managed and tormented for the sick pleasure by sadists who belong in a Mexican security asylum. Not only that, my friend, but it's very demonic. They're really showing the evil that they are. And Raida, the head of Saudi Arabia, says, if Trump wants to be a hero of peace, he must move his Israeli loved ones to Alaska and then to Greenland after annexing it. That's funny. No, he should not move anyone to Alaska because, he can move to Alaska. He definitely could do that, but not Greenland. Greenland is a territory that the people in Greenland don't want him there, so that's not going to happen. But yeah, Alaska, you can put them in Florida as well. Yeah, sure. Just remember the Florida natives, I hope they enjoy that idea, because if they're being displaced, that won't work out well either. Just saying. Yes, this is an admission that the Jews control the banks and so on. Never Again is now. Auschwitz, Gaza 2025. Gets kicked out of 109 countries and blames you when it's really them. Yep, some of these Jews really have done some atrocious things. The Jew will always tell you what happened to them, but he'll never tell you why. Russian proverb. Very true. And just going into some stuff here. Did your Jewish written history books teach you that Jews were kidnapping Christian kids for centuries in Europe to make Jewish ritual murders on them. They were sacrificing them for Kabbalah. This painting of blood libel is taken from Nuremberg Chronicle 1493. In England's Lincoln Cathedral, you can visit the grave of little St. Hugh, who was a 12-year-old boy murdered by Jews as a sacrifice for their god Lucifer. Kabbalah, like I tell you. Several instances of Jewish ritual murders were recorded in European cities, which led to the expulsion of the Jews. So they were really wicked, evil people. Not all Jews, but I'm just saying those who formed this Zionism. Bowls of Dragon said, I started out not liking it. Everyone around me said over and over again that it's not good and all wrong. I rewatched it later, the Ultimate Edition, and I had a completely different experience. It's brilliant. It's 100% the best superhero film. Restore the Snyderverse. Balls of the Dragon. What do you think on this film? Which is really great to see people come around. I just want to show you something, and I'm going to call it the end of the day here because I spent an hour on this. This is live, ladies and gentlemen. This is live. And what's trending in entertainment right now? Henry Cavill is trending in entertainment right now because Superman is trending, obviously. And just general trending here, we have Christ, which is really cool. Let's see here. Nothing really of note. Here's trending, but as you know, Henry Cavill is trending right now. All right, guys, I got to get out of here, so I'm gonna go. You guys have a blessed one. It's an hour and 7 minutes. You guys can check out the video